Let's take a second and look up at the sky. Do you guys see the purple clouds and the birds flying through the clouds? Wait, is that bird on a phone call? You guys see that, right? Please tell me you see that. Because in my imagination, I do. And if my imagination has the power to get you to look up and wonder, I wonder what else it can do. Here I am at 24 talking about birds on phone calls, and you might think that that's childish. Because it is. But my question is that a bad thing? Children have their entire day planned out for them, from having their clothes laid out in the morning to having someone always ready to tie their shoelaces, and even have their crust cut off their PB&J. I would say that's a dream life right there. But there were also times as a child when I excitedly picked up a crayon to scribble on the white walls, and it was snatched away from me. Because the walls look better when they're white, right? And every time it rained, I was told not to jump in the puddles because my clothes would get muddy. And every time I had the courage to experiment, I was told otherwise. I was taught the right way of life. And just like that, somewhere along the way, I grew up. In school, I learned to color within the lines, to fill in blanks with the right answers, and to solve math problems I didn't understand. But at least there were rules I could follow. In college, I mastered those rules. I made resumes that looked like everyone else's, and I sat through lectures and took notes. But when my time came to enter the professional design world, something changed. For the first time, there were no more rules. No one was telling me what to do, what to think, or what to create. I was free to do whatever I wanted. But guess what? That was even scarier. I swapped a blanket over my head for a blazer over my shoulders. And I swapped a color book filled with pictures for a notebook with blank pages. But those blank pages didn't feel like the white walls I once wanted to scribble over. They terrified me. They felt like monsters under my bed, just too silent and too still. It made me want to scream at it or throw something at it because the silence was just so loud and so deafening. And just as I do that, just as I jump into the monster's world to throw a couple of badly drawn lines at the monster, it reaches out and it says, "Hey, I'm just here to help." And that's where the magic happens. Every wild scribble can turn into grass, and every basic idea turns into something extraordinary. The faster I scribbled and the harder I pressed, the more my ideas shined, just like how diamonds shine. But notice how they're always formed under pressure? Speaking of this pressure, designers sometimes have to be able to come up with 50 ideas at once because deadlines, it's inevitable. And a lot of people get intimidated by the thought of not being able to do so. But let's flip the script a little bit. The key to achieving out-of-the-box ideas in a quick time frame isn't going to happen when you try to be your best. It's even easier. You have to be your worst. When you start coming up with ideas that you think would never work or are unrealistic and crazy, that's when you know you're on the right track. It's time to let go of the conditioning we once had. The instructions we were once given aren't valid anymore. It's like diving into a whole new world, a whole new universe, where you don't know the rules and you don't know what to do. Now, do you make your own rules or do you stay still? The choice is yours. But how do you make your own rules? Well, the answer has always been within you. The behaviors you were once conditioned out of are your secret to surviving this new planet. If we were never conditioned out of those behaviors, what do you think the world would look like? How would you think? How would you act? What would you do? There's so many questions, but maybe these questions are what we need more of. Have you ever had a kid around you that just wouldn't stop asking questions? Why do my teeth fall out? Why can't I see the tooth fairy? Why does my tooth turn into money? Wait, what's that in your teeth? Wow, kid, you got me. But it also got me thinking about a project I once had. What if the tooth fairy lived in your teeth and the act of brushing your teeth was helping her keep her house clean? Right? This not only flipped the script of how boring brushing teeth is for kids, but also gave them a new story and a fun motivation to make brushing fun again. So, what started as annoying questions turned into a powerful idea on how you can think of creativity. The ability of questioning everything and being nosy is a superpower. Being curious about the world around you and using questions as a way to understand and make sense of new experiences is how you can come up with ideas that have never been heard of before. Sure, it is annoying and sometimes frustrating to answer all of those questions. But those answers, whether they're right or wrong, are your secret weapon in this new planet. We live in a world where we're told not to be wrong. But guess what? In creativity, there is no wrong. And that's why I chose graphic design. Because nobody told me I was incorrect or I had a failing grade because I didn't know the formula. In design, we make our own formula, and people just ask us why. So now I'm gonna do a little bit of my own math. If kids can come up with 50 questions in a minute, do you think you can come up with 50 ideas in a minute? 50 questions equals 50 ideas. You see what I'm doing here? But now you might be thinking, what if the question and answers that you have don't make sense? Because most times, the answers to your questions won't make sense. And that's completely okay. The not knowing, the second guessing, and the constant questioning is what encourages growth. If you can give your chaos a reason, it transforms into something undeniably right. It's a kind of freedom. It's the child inside you saying, jump in the puddle and don't think twice. Your intuition will always lead you to a place where your freedom will give you a big hug and validation from others will be thrown out the window. So now that you have all of this freedom, you have your own rules, and you have your own ways, how do you not get lost? Well, even then, there's still a way. What if, instead of asking just why, you start asking why not? You'll start to see connections where others see ambiguity, and your intellectual curiosity will allow you to create without the fear of being wrong. It's like running barefoot through a meadow of ideas, feeling every blade of grass, even the sharp ones. Having a childlike side is not a weakness, it's a creative force. The messiness, the chaos, the uncertainty, that's where originality lives, and that's where the good ideas hide. But what even is the good? It's so subjective. It's so personal. How could you ever know what's good in design? Well, designer Dieter Rams once said, good design is invisible. And I agree. Good design is invisible. It lies in the process that people don't see. Good ideas come out of secret holes in ideation phases that are waiting for you to jump inside. Feel familiar? In the ideation phase of any project, you have the playground all to yourself. You can jump off a slide and never get hurt. Isn't that nice? It creates a space for the fearless child inside you to scribble wildly and allows your intuition to lead you to a place that's authentically yours. So what monster is stopping you from embracing your inner child? It's time to let go of the fear and dive into the messy process. Because design isn't just a job, it's a way of life. Dress up when you want, scream how you want, cry where you want, and design what you want. It's messy, imperfect, but it's entirely yours. So come play with me, because that monster staring back at you is waiting for you to create a world worth dreaming about. Or you could just bribe a child to do your work for you. And with that, I leave you with the bird. Hey, he's finally off his phone call.